I am driven. I am driven to win. I am driven. I am driven to win. No matter what has came up against me, I will take a stand. I will believe in who I was created to be. See, the world tried to take me out, but God said I got a plan and a purpose for your life. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I would like to welcome you all to the Driven Show with your host, Nicole, coming straight out of Texas. And so I want to say welcome. But before we get started, I need you guys to do me a favor. Take off your shoes, take off your hair, take off your makeup, and take off everything that no longer serves you purpose on today. Because anytime you come here, show up as your authentic self. Because why? We love to see you. We love to see you. And I need you guys to do me a favor. Like this video, share this video, and make sure you leave a comment because why? We want to stay connected to you. And we want to make sure your family and your friends have access to these amazing guests that we have here on our show. So you can watch us every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so, why is this so important? Because we have some amazing guests each and every week. And so we want to make sure you hear their story, you stay connected to their vision, their brand, and everything else that they have going on. So like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, and like us on YouTube at Driven by Purpose. That is Driven by Purpose, PURPOS 3. This is who our show is sponsored by. And I just want to say welcome. So today's guest, I have the pleasure to know this young man. I met him last year. And so I'm not going to tell you his story. I'm not going to tell you how I know him because I'm going to allow us to just come on here and tell you how we know each other. And he's doing amazing things in his community. And so I want to bring Larry Darnell Smith Jr. to the show. Look at this smile, y'all.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Larry.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. I mean, awesome. The weather here in Detroit is very, very nice. Here in Southwest Detroit, let me say that it's very wonderful weather.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that you're able to be outside and get that fresh air because I know Michigan weather is bipolar. One day it's hot, one day it's cold. So thank you for being. You said on Detroit West. What side of town you said? You said. I mean,
I,
you said
I'm in I'm in I'm in Southwest Detroit right now. Yes,
Southwest.
yes, Southwest Detroit. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I hear that. So Larry Darnell Smith, how did I meet you? Tell me more about who you are and how did I meet you?
Well, we first met at one of the rallies that we put together, the National Organization of Exonerees, along with other people, Paula Kinsu, Free Kinsu, and just the community at large. Good people coming together just in a positive cause. And then I met you, and from day one we hit it off. You began to introduce to me how to use social media in a proper manner, and just how to be my authentic self. Like you told me, I didn't need no help. It's just that out here coming from where I came from inside that place, it was a little bit difficult for me to navigate at first. And I can say through the process of stepping away, it's still difficult, but you have been there and other people to assist me. And I'm just grateful to you, sister. Thank you.
I thank you so very much, my brother, because you mentioned something. You said coming from out of there. See, many people know your story, but many people do not. And so I'm not for sure who in my audience knows you, but where was in there at?
Well, in prison, I spent 26 years, 10 months, and 7 days in prison for a crime I did not commit. I was released February 4th, 2021. They say I'm an exoneree. I'm not an exoneree. I just know that one day they came and they released me. I know that I didn't commit the crime. And now I'm out here in society. We advocate on behalf of the innocent, the medically frail, the over sentenced, then all.
We lost him for a moment, but he'll be back. So I want you guys to know something. Larry has a powerful cause. Now we lost you for a minute. You said you are here representing the medically fragile and who else?
Oh, so the innocent, the medically frail, the
Mhm.
over sentenced, the youth, the seniors, and just those who need a voice and a good heart, and just the people to believe in them and give them the extra push in the cause. No, we for the people. I'm for the people.
Well, I want to say thank you for being for the people, because when I met you, the first time I met you, look, he didn't say his name was just Larry. He said, "My name, Larry Darnell Smith Jr." And that spoke volume, because he said, "I am Larry Darnell Smith Jr." So that stuck with me. So I remember him being that, but I also know him by Butter. And so the thing was, I had never met Butter. I had never heard his story, but he speaks volume. So I want to say thank you for being who you are. And I hate that you had to go through your situation, but I honestly believe that you learned something that's in that situation, because what are you currently doing right now? Can you please tell us?
Well, I work at a community rec center in the community in which I came from. And outside of that, like I told you, we do advocate, but just education for the youth is just so important.
Mhm.
I think it's June 17th. We have a skating party for the community. 100 children get in on the original Fatlipper. Um, and we hope at the roller rink, June 17th, in Southwest Detroit. And I just hope that people come out and they're able to have a good time. Children able to just interact with other young people. Adults had time to just kick back and watch their children enjoy themselves. And just like I say, just community advocating.
So, guys, y'all make sure y'all check the flyer out, because it is attached to this video, as well as it is posted on social media, because it is imperative that you come out and support the cause. And if you're not able to come because you're in another city or state, still donate to the cause, because it's for a reason. They're bringing forth change in their community. And so, Larry, thank you. So, can you tell us? I see down here it says the original Fatlipper. Can you tell us what that is?
My mom, that's my mom. She said I talk a lot. She said I talk a lot, and often time I do deliver a message to the people, and it just boiled down if they had time to listen. So as the original Fatlipper, I spread information out in the community, and I use what I learned inside of that place and also in society to help to educate the masses. Because a lot of us, like, how many young people know how to write cursive?
Not a lot.
You go into the bank, they tell you you print your name and you sign your name. When they go into the bank, they print their name twice, because it's a breakdown in the educational process from the time as you was growing up and the time of these young people growing up. So just these major things that's taking place, like a lot of the education processes just go through online. So due to the fact that these tools is online, the other part of the educational process don't take place. But up at our youth center, that's what we promote. We promote reading, education. Like we got empty bookshelves, we got shelves with books. So we take donations for books up at the rec center. People think that because it's something that's ran by the city, but it's for the community. So us as a community, we have to stand tall with each other, and we have to teach one another.
Can you
So,
tell us the name of the rec center at by any chance?
oh yes, Kimini Recreation Center in Southwest Detroit, sits on 4th Street off Schaefer. I apologize, I can't give y'all the direct address out of my head. But that's where it's located. In the people in the Detroit area, the skating ring is right by the rec center. It's called a rollercade. It's been there since 1955, a black-owned family business. And where I'm from, we support community. We support ours. We support our own.
So guess what? All of that information is going to be included in this as well, because I'm going to get it from you, because our people need to be there to support your movement and the community. Because I love what the rec center is doing, and the fact that you said you need books. We have, well, I'm on, because I'm not in Michigan currently, but my family, we have some books, so I'm going to make sure we can get those books to you. And so, is there anything else that you guys might be in need of as well too?
Well, I mean, we always need youth that's interested in softball. What I'm finding these days is that softball, hardball, and the rec centers, they don't really. It's sort of like borderline non-existent. And I don't know if it's because of COVID, the recovery from COVID, but just like we need young people interested in participating. We need family members that's interested in having their children to participate. We need to be able to build community talks and just grow together. That's what we in need of. We in need of this opportunity to grow together, put down the tools of violence and pick up the tools of love and education and operate as such, as a
Okay.
unit.
Okay, so have you? There is this young man that I know. His name is Yusuf, and so he has a Mama Akuna. I think that's how you say it. A house, and it's like it's in Detroit. So I want to connect you two together because he is community, and connect you to him so that way we can see how y'all can move because it's good when leadership comes together that's doing the same things. And so I love what you're doing, and I want to make sure that you have access to people that I know. And so I'm just going to send the text to both of y'all and just see how y'all can connect because like I said, he's doing good things in his community and you're doing good things in yours, and let's come together.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
hopeful. Yes, please do, because I'm hopeful that not only do like we come together just across this D across Michigan, but we start to branch out to these other states as a collective, begin to unify. Because there's so many formerly incarcerated people that families been touched also. So it's deeper than just the individual, deeper than the parent, deeper than the child. It's a whole complexity, and if we can just stir this pot up across the country and begin to unite. And even if it's just on this local level, right, in each city to city, I'm hoping to go down to Boston in August. One of the barbers down there, Mr. C in Springfield, they having a community where they go back to school.
mhm.
So they invited me down there, and I wanted to say that, like, hopefully maybe you can come down there, and other community people, and then I come down to Houston, and we can just go to these different states and we can touch these children. Because when we say that they are future, heck yeah, consider when we going into these nursing homes and things like that, those is the generation that's been presented to take care of us.
Yes. Yes.
So
And so you got to come to Dallas too, because I'm in Dallas.
I come to
Houston is
Dallas.
5 hours, but both you can go to both because we all connected. Because you got Dallas, Houston, and this is a big old state, so you can touch so many lives here. And I love that because you said something. You said you want to connect to all these people. I'm not trying to cut you off, but I want you to see the power of social media. So how you're talking to me, I'm now in Texas, but I'm connected to people in Texas, Arkansas, Michigan, Florida, Georgia, all of these different states. And so now we got to just continue to connect the links so that way we can bring forth change together. But we got to see it that it's bigger than us and put away the differences. So what were you finna say? Because I want to make sure you get your message out.
Oh no, that was great. I think you just summed it up for me. I think you
Mhm.
summed it up for us and the connection across the country. If we
Yes.
unionize, if we unify, let's use that term, and come
Yes.
together on the things that we dislike, come together on the things that we do like, and like some of the things we have to compromise on. I ain't telling you compromise on no character,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's your belief system was hindering us and holding us apart, then those things that we need to address. Like we
Mm-hmm.
need to figure out how we can have inclusion and how we can love on one another with all our differences. That's all. I'm just
But you know
grateful.
what? Yeah, and I'm grateful too. And you said something. We do have to put away our differences because of the simple fact, like because we don't believe a certain way or we don't act a certain way, we don't speak a certain way, then we don't want to rock with each other. And then at the end of the day, who's hurting? All of us, because we are all connected, and that's what people don't realize. Just because you look different from me, you act different, you speak different. So, like you in your situation, because you said you were serving time for a crime you did not commit. So when you were serving time, did you have like your same friends and your family members always there to support you? Or how was that process for you?
I mean, you lose friends, you gain friends. People come into your life for a season. You come into people's life for a season. But like the
Mhm.
most consistent people, like my mom, my dad who passed away, my girl, like these people was consistent in my life to like even when I wanted to just say, I can't take that extra step. I had to take the extra step because they was cheering me on and they wanted me to be present out in society, experiencing life like they was.
Mhm.
So it didn't leave me room to be like, oh, they had a party and I couldn't be there. It made me dig down extra deeper and suck it up and bite down on my lip and say, next year I got to be there. Next year I got to be there. And if I miss that next year, I say, okay, yeah, it wasn't my fault. I wasn't my fault. Something happened. But whatever it was, I got to keep up my same attitude, my same belief system, keep motivating my team because contrary to what anybody think, that whole process not going to work without a team.
Right.
You know, if you on the ground boost level, fighting a natural life sentence, a death sentence, you need God first. That's your number one team member. And then from that point, other members gonna come involved. And it's just that created and helped us to be humble. And that's what helped me get out that place, my family. Because if it wasn't for them, I'd have lost my dang on mind. Woo! I did lose it, I think.
But you found something more. You found your strength. I feel like you found your peace, your purpose, and I feel like you found out who you really were because of the simple fact you went through what you went through, but it didn't break you. You know what I mean? It got to you for a minute, but now you're still standing and now you're giving back. You're reaching back to your family members. You're reaching back to those that are away from you. You know what I mean? Just you making it make sense. You connecting the people. Basically, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And like inside that place,
hmm
it's a guy who was locked up 9 years before me. His name
hmm
Charles Wilson. He was
hmm
incarcerated 9 years before me, and the guy testified against me. He testified against him. So,
hmm
like, anytime I get an opportunity, I'm letting the word be known that it's other people inside of that place that the same thing that took place bad, like what happened to me, is happening to them right now as we speak.
hmm
As we speak. So I just want people to know that when you hear somebody say they in there for a crime they ain't commit, don't just naturally think, oh, shoot, I don't care. He did it. He had to do something. That don't mean he in there for what they said he done. And in a person in your situation, what happens when the shoe is on the other foot and is you wearing it? And is you right now? Is you reaching out? Is you asking? Is you begging? Is you watching your family members pass away, get sick, and not be able to attend, be not able to perform, not being able to just take a part in raising of your children, your grandchildren? So I just want the society to know that every person inside of that place is not bad. And those medically frail people, 47, 50 years, 52 years, I just ask society, when is enough enough? And a person who go to prison at 18, if you get a sentence till you 102 years old, like, I'm just asking society, do you think that that's appropriate or fair? Some people might say yeah, some people might say no. But ultimately, it's a conversation that we need to start having, because these cases are not boiling down to if a person is innocent these days. When
hmm
you show that you innocent, they are beginning to have sentences and statements as such as, you didn't meet a criteria. It's a procedure. It's a default. You procedurally default because you didn't have information that could have freed you years before. That
hmm
shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be that way in Michigan. It shouldn't be that way in our country. Just in general, a person, when is enough enough to you? That's all I'm asking. I ask God, I ask our American people, I ask any person on here, including yourself, when
hmm
is enough enough?
Thank you, Butter. Thank you for asking the question. Now, I challenge people to answer the question. When is enough enough? Like so many people have been putting their feet to the ground, their ears to the street. And like you said some people say, it is what it is. They did the crime, automatically say they do the crime, but we got to dig deeper. We got to look at all factors. And that's why people become police officers. That's why people become like judges, lawyers, and things like that to break in the stigma. And so the thing is, like, when is enough enough? So what are you going to do? How you going to make a difference? How you going to make an impact in this world? How you going to show up? So that's why it's going to take all of us to bring forth a change. So I thank you for just pointing that little piece out, because I feel like people hear you because you talk a lot. When it comes to certain things, you're not quiet at all, and people can hear you. Like you said, the original Fatlipper, but it's purpose and power. So thank you for speaking up. And
Thank you.
I want to say something. I want to ask you another question. So, for you to be doing all these good things in the community, you're part of the National Exonerees organization, and then you're working at the rec center, and then you're just giving to the community. What advice do you have? What advice do you have for somebody that might be incarcerated? What advice do you have for them, or advice do you have for somebody that's in the community that's trying to figure out life? What advice do you have?
Don't let nobody take you off of what's right. Your heart, your mind, these things that register in your life. Don't let people take you off of those things. If you know something is good, if you know something is right, don't let that person on the sideline tell you that it's not. I walked around a prison yard, and for anybody who know me who watched this, I had a folder. I had a funny looking orange fleece on that you see me wearing sometime. Two-tone. I dyed it bleach. People would talk about me wearing that fleece. It would be raining out. It would be snow out. And I would have a folder under my arm and an ink pen. And I'd be walking around in big snow piles writing down notes all day. And they thought I was crazy. But it didn't matter because they thought I was crazy. I knew that the conditions in which I was suffering under was not conditions that I should be experiencing. So to me, that was crazy. So for a person in the community and they don't think their conditions is right, get up, get out and get something. Get about your business. Get about your business. If you in the cell and you sitting on the side of the bunk and you got your hands in your face and you asking God, why you do this to me? Man, take your hands out of there and figure out what can you do to make the quality of your living better. This ain't no get on and lay down. You can't roll over and play dead. That's what they want you to do when they give you natural life. When they give you 50 to 100. When they make rules like the Anti-Effective Death Penalty Act will make you a terrorist on your own soil. Where they can give you 100 years and don't give you a lawyer and then boot you and then be up in the United States Supreme Court using statements such as policy and procedure versus actual innocence. See, like if I'm innocent, don't tell me that I missed a procedural deadline. And that's what these guys is experiencing. And the intent of the system is to drag you down. So for a person locked up, a person in society, it's meant, the intent of the system is designed to drag you down. So when you do slide and you do well, pat yourself on the back. Don't let nobody tell you don't pat yourself on the back. You could be one of these bad people stirring up this mixing pot or all these horrible things, but you're not. You somebody either trying to get your freedom or you somebody trying to make freedom for yourself out here in the non-free land. Either case, get up, get out. Never stop grinding. Don't let the side of the bunk become your home. Don't let the side of that bed become your written place. Don't do it. That's all I can tell them. Fight.
Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for telling people, because I look at it in the natural sense. I look at it in the spiritual sense. So not so much the natural. You spoke to the natural. I'm going to speak it to the spiritual. Don't allow yourself to be entrapped and caged in your mind. Get out and do something. Speak life over yourself, back into yourself and into your current situation. That's what I feel like. That's what you're saying.
That's it.
That could be for anybody. Like you said, you could be out here in the street and you could be sitting up here saying, oh, this happened, this keep happening to me, or what am I going to do differently about it? So spiritually, mentally, I have to work on my mindset. I have to change what I'm thinking. I can't focus on what nobody else is saying. I have to stay grounded and go forth on my purpose and in my mission in life, because of the simple fact, just because things not going the way I want them to go, just because I'm experiencing all these different what is it, like bondage. So you can be having an illness in your body, all of these different things. Even me, I'm talking to me too. I have to rise to the occasion. I have to believe in myself. I have to stand and know that it can get better. I just have to keep fighting and walking in my purpose. That's what I got. That's what I'm getting. So thank you.
Hey,
thank you.
You said it.
We said it. I was just going off what you said. So I got another question, because you're talking good today. So is there anything else that you want our viewers to know about you, what you do, your business, or anything? Because people need to know who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm more or less a consultant, and I introduce people into different things that they may. So if you a trucker and you need dispatching, right? Mm-hmm. And part of the issue is that you don't have other truckers on your team. I know truckers. You know, I'm a notary. I mean, we got cleaning company. Like if it's something that needs to be done in the community, I'm saying that if I can't fulfill it, I got somebody who can fulfill it. I mean, it's not difficult. Like, and that's what this is about. When you know somebody that has a particular skill set, you don't turn them off, you turn them on.
Right.
And that's what I work to do. Turn on these people in the community. Mm-hmm. We need to have something different. We need to have something that we can depend on. And that need to come from us, not the government. So That's just some of the things that I do. I guess I'm a motivational speaker, they say. I just say I'm gonna tell you like it is. I'm gonna put it down like I want to pick it up. And sometimes it hurt.
That's not what they say. That's what you know. You know who you are. It's a difference when you don't know. But you picking it up, you going for it. He said, I'm a consultant. You can be that consultant because that's who you are, but you are a motivational speaker. So walk in that calling too. Walk in that purpose too. I love to hear you speak. So do you have another event coming up or just the one with the skating party or
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Up where I work at is often events, and they kind of be like geared not just to the community, but at large, but mainly community come. So now after the skating party, we venturing over to the east side a little bit. We venturing over to the west side a little bit, and we building it up where we can take it downtown and we can do something that's big for the people. Cause we ain't like this skating party. I did this with my first check. I mean, okay, so anyway, I got my first 2-week check from my job. So when I was in that place, I had told God that if he ever granted me my opportunity, my first chance at life, with it, I would get a job at the rec center and I would throw my people a party, a skating party, and take part in it. And now I'm taking part in it. So, you know, we had this list, we had these bucket lists, these goals, and it's part of the bucket list. So when you ask about the next event, yeah, we gearing up for the next event right now. We're going to knock a home run with the skating, and then we're going to take the young people and do something else. You know, we just want to make sure that our whole city feel us, that they know that just because we was in that place ain't what consumed us. It didn't take our heart and make it all black. It's love in it. It's got some red in it. What they say, blue, red and blue for blood, red, black, and green for us.
Yes.
Why not support us? That's what it's all about. Original Fatlipper. You heard it first.
I love it.
Else.
I love it. But listen, you said something that was so profound to me because the thing is, you could have went your heart could have been just like gone, but you said love is what saved you. So now you're giving love back into those that are near you or just connected to you or not even they haven't even met you because you know what it takes love to change the multitude. So like everything that we are experiencing it's all about love yourself, love your people. So thank you for loving yourself, thank you for being here for people, thank you for trusting who you are, and I love this and that you're doing what you're doing. So before we go, is there anything else you want to tell our audience about you and how they can support you and how they can find you on social media?
Yeah, please. Instagram, I think it's Larry Smith Butter or Larry Butter Smith, and in reverse on Facebook, Larry Butter Smith, Larry Smith Butter. National Organization of Exonerees, just real people. Union of Formerly Incarcerated. I'm a member of the Union of Formerly Incarcerated, and that's just people with good hearts across this fair land who out to do something, to change something. So to bring us together and unite us. We ain't looking for separation. And for everybody out here telling people to vote, I just want to say this. For everybody who telling people to vote, I would like for you to say, educate yourself on the politics of the person who you voting for. Because if you vote for somebody just because they cool, you like the color of their shoes or whatever the case might be, when they put their policies in effect, when their policies go in effect, don't feel like you no victim or nothing like that because you took part in it. And hold on now, if you don't take part in the vote, don't feel like no victim because you didn't take part in it. So it got a catch-22. So this stuff come with education. And I'm just hopeful that in each of these states, we can band together and begin to educate the people on the rights and the different things that's in their state. And for those who've been inside of that place that we call prison and they don't have the accessibility to vote still, then we need to be going to them states and advocating for that as well. So I'm just hopeful and repeal the 13th Amendment. But if y'all feel that the 13th Amendment is appropriate, now you got to post that up too, Natia. You got to teach them what the 13th Amendment is. But if they believe that the 13th Amendment is appropriate, then let's repeal the Anti-Effective Death Penalty Act, which makes us terrorists on our own land and allows them to just deny your appeals without ever reading them. You know, that's just stuff that I think that our people should know. Because if they don't know, they don't be loaded up. So
Y'all heard it here. This is the first time I ever heard it. So you just educated me. So thank you. And I'm gonna make sure this stays on here so everybody can hear it. Y'all stay connected. Stay connected to Larry Smith. Stay connected to Driven. Stay connected to your local municipalities. Learn of who
That's
you're
right.
putting in office. Learn about different policies and procedures. How can you learn? Go to the city hall meetings, go to the state meetings, go to your county meetings, but also get into them books and educate yourself on laws, policy, procedures, the your rights. You need to know your rights. So this is good. So I thank you for that. So thank you for educating us on today. We appreciate you. And Larry, all the information you provide, we're gonna make sure we post it so people can stay connected. Make your calls. And thank you for coming home and strong. We appreciate you and
Thank
we
you.
see you. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I am very grateful to you for having me on this wonderful show. It is just amazing to watch you grow and just to watch this process. And I learned so much from you. And I have to be honest, like I learned from people, and you one of those people. And I'm just grateful to you. And thank you. Thank you for having me on your show. Because you ain't have to. Come on now. You could have just let Larry on out here in Southwest Detroit.
Nope.
But I appreciate you giving me a platform just to talk to people out there. And for anybody who support the police, I want to say this to you guys. The police union is not supportive of exonerees, is not supportive of paying people who've been wrongfully convicted. So when you go to look in to see who you want to put in those positions, why don't y'all look to see who you dealing with? Because y'all approach me all the time and ask me why I haven't been compensated. They ask me these type of questions. And it's because the people, the law enforcement, the municipalities that's over us, they are the ones who had a bank book. They are the ones who had a checkbook. So when citizens think that I didn't got compensated, or they think that I should be compensated, I hope they direct their questions to those people in places of authority, like our governor, like our attorney general, those type of people. Because when they ask me, I don't do nothing but be like, damn, put my head down and get upset and be ready to fight some more for what's mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate if they would. For any person wrongfully convicted in this country, they should be compensated.
Well, thank you, Larry. And I appreciate what you have to say. And your voice has been heard on today because that's our mission to tell your story. So thank you for telling your story. And I pray it falls on the right ears and people listen. Larry is from the state of Michigan. I don't know about everybody's state laws and all of that, but just let's take heed. Whatever you needed to hear in this message, you take heed to it and you follow along with it. Stay connected to Larry because he has so much information, and do your part. Get educated. So thank you guys for listening to us today. And Larry, I'm so glad you finally joined me because I've been waiting on you for 2 years. I'm just waiting. It wasn't 2 years,
It's all,
but
it's
thank
all
you.
good.
It
Hey,
is.
you know what?
Mhm.
I think like remember I say everything happened at the right time and everything happened for a reason. And I haven't really been doing very many interviews. I turn them down. You know, if I ain't got nothing to say, then why come out and say anything? But when it comes to you, you bring great energy and you allow me a platform to get the word out to the community, not just here in Michigan, but across this fair land of ours. We need to cooperate with each other. We need inclusion. We don't need to be turning our backs on each other, kicking at one another, trying to put dust on each other. We need to help build ourselves up, help build each other up. And with that right there, we can make that excellence that we always be talking about.
Yep. So thank you. Thank you for that. And I appreciate you more than you know. So thank you, Brother Larry. And I look forward to talking to you soon, guys. Y'all tune in to our next episode next Wednesday. And y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Take care.
All right, now, driven by purpose, free the innocent, free the medically frail, free the over sentence. Prison shouldn't be a big business. Support community. Salute to you.
Salute.